Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Understanding Business, 2024, Chapter 16, narrated by Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad. Chapter 16, Using Effective Promotions, page 417. Learning objectives. After you have read and studied this chapter, you should be able to identify the new and traditional tools that make up the promotion mix. Contrast the advantages and disadvantages of various advertising media, including the internet and social media. Illustrate the steps of the B2B and B2C selling processes. Describe the role of the public relations department and show how publicity fits in that role. Assess the effectiveness of various forms of sales promotion, including sampling. Show how word of mouth promotion, viral marketing, social networking, blogging, podcasting, email marketing, and mobile marketing work. Page 418. Getting to know Huda Katan, founder of Huda Beauty. Finding the right promotional platform often makes all the difference for entrepreneurs hoping to transform their product from an unknown item into a hit seller. That's why so many people today try building large online followings that have the potential to become loyal customers. Of course, this strategy wasn't common knowledge in 2013 when Huda Katan launched a beauty brand after maintaining a fashion blog for a few years. Katan obtained a $6,000 loan from her sister to create a line of false eyelashes, a big risk that she was not sure would pay off. Then her product started to receive praise from major social media accounts, leading to a deal with the retailer Sephora. Within a week, all of the eyelashes had sold out. This turned out to be the first step on the road to success for Huda Beauty, an online fashion juggernaut with more than 52 million Instagram followers and a valuation worth more than $1.25 billion. Long before she established a beauty empire, however, Katan grew up filling out of place in Oklahoma City. A child of Iraqi parents, her family was one of the few Arab households in the area at that time. Growing up as a little brown girl in the South was a challenge, as I was very confused and could not fit in, said Katan. I felt I was not pretty and that I had to conform to a beauty standard. While she eventually found her own fashion role models in figures like Priyanka Chopra and Tyra Banks, Katan's isolated adolescence gave her foundational values that would inform her throughout life. Not having brown girls to look at bothered me, said Katan. Today, part of my narrative comes from my experience as a kid and the belief that I don't want my daughter to grow up like I did. Katan's drive to succeed brought her to the University of Michigan, Dearborn, where she obtained a degree in finance. She pursued a career in the field after moving to Dubai, where a few years earlier her father had landed a job as a professor. Unfortunately, Katan learned the hard way that working in finance was not for her. Yeah, I was fired, said Katan. Upon my arrival, I was working as a financial recruiter and I lost my job a few months later. I was fired pretty terribly by a very harsh boss. Still, Katan claims that even this unpleasant experience had a silver lining, but I'm glad he did it. Otherwise, I would probably be doing a job I didn't like. Catan found the fulfillment she was looking for once she moved to Los Angeles to study makeup artistry. Beauty school was a much better fit for her than finance, and after graduation, she got a job doing makeup for high-paying celebrity clients. Catan then headed back to Dubai to work as a makeup artist for Revlon, but her ultimate dream was to start a business herself. So in 2010, she began a blog named Huda Beauty that took about a year and lots of Facebook ads to get off the ground. I was investing in this thing, hoping it's going to pay off, said Catan. Then I remember seeing people in different parts of the world start to take notice. I was like, holy crap, this is actually working. It was such a trip. This growing audience would be integral to Catan's next big move, the fabled eyelashes that launched her brand into the stratosphere. She had spent years searching for the perfect false lashes, but failed to find any decent ones in stores, leading her to develop her own sets over long nights at the kitchen counter, although Catan did not have any cash on hand to fund her vision. She luckily had a supportive sister who was willing to invest in the concept. I was like, let's just try it with $6,000. Let's just do a couple thousand lashes and let's see what happens, said Catan. It was a little bit like an experiment, but I also didn't have a plan B if it didn't work. Thankfully, the risk was worth it. The readers of her blog quickly spread word online about the lashes, attracting the attention and approval of influencers like Kim Kardashian. The lashes got picked up by Sephora, they sold out in a flash, and the rest is history. Huda Beauty now earns an estimated $250 million annually by offering more than 140 different products, from cosmetics and skincare items to the classic lashes that started it all. In this chapter, we explore all the traditional and new elements of promotion. We'll explain how marketers use different media for promotion and the advantages and disadvantages of each. We'll explain how marketers use different media for promotion and the advantages and disadvantages of each. We'll also look at the role of public relations as well as the differences between B2C and B2B promotions. Finally, throughout the chapter, we'll pay particular attention to the promotional uses of social media. Sources: Manuel Arnaut, Huda Catan, I'm not ashamed that I don't have it all together. Vogue Arabia, en.vogue.me, March 1st, 2022. Taylor Locke, Huda Catan turned a $6,000 loan into a $1 billion business. Find something that really fuels your passion. CNBC, CNBC.com. June 1st, 2021. Narisha Penrose, Huda Catan wants you in a smoky eye this holiday. ELLE.com. December 21st, 2022. Olivia Hancock, Huda Catan is using her latest launch to empower her community. Birdie.com. October 3rd, 2022. Manuel Arnaut, Huda Catan on 10 years of Huda Beauty. For the first time, I feel like I really know what I'm doing. Vogue Arabia, en.vogue.me, January 26, 2023. The Middle East's 100 Most Powerful Businesswomen 2023. Forbes Middle East, ForbesMiddleEast.com, accessed April 2023. David M. Bennett and Getty Images Entertainment and Getty Images. Page 419. Name that company. This company's CEO spends hours interacting with followers on social media. She posts photos, creates videos, and directly responds to followers on both her account. She posts photos, creates videos, and directly responds to followers on both her personal account and the company account. Name that company. Find the answer in the chapter. Promotion and the promotion mix. LO 16-1. Identify the new and traditional tools that make up the promotion mix. Promotion is the last of the 4 P's of marketing. As noted in Chapter 13, promotion consists of all the techniques sellers use to motivate people to buy their products or services. Both profit-making and non-profit organizations use promotional techniques to communicate with people in their target markets about goods and services, and to persuade them to participate in marketing exchange. Marketers use many different tools to promote their products. Traditionally, those tools were advertising, personal selling, public relations, and sales promotion. Today, they have grown to include email, mobile, and social media promotions and advertising, blogging, podcasting, and more. The combination of promotional tools an organization uses is called its promotion mix. See Figure 16.1. We show the product in the middle of the figure to illustrate that the product itself can also be a promotional tool, such as when marketers give away free samples. Figure 16.1, the traditional promotion mix. Product: advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relations. Integrated Marketing Communication, IMC, combines the promotional tools into one comprehensive, unified promotional strategy. With IMC, marketers can create a positive brand image, meet the needs of the consumer, and meet the strategic marketing and promotional goals of the firm. Emphasis today is on integrating traditional media like television with social media, or integrating print media with websites. Figure 16.2 shows the 6 steps in a typical promotional campaign. Let's begin exploring promotional tools by looking at advertising, the most visible tool. Page 420, Figure 16.2, steps in a promotional campaign. 1. Identify a target market. Refer back to Chapter 13 for a discussion of segmentation and target marketing. 2. Define the objectives for each element of the promotion mix. Goals should be clear and measurable. 3. Determine a promotional budget. The budgeting process will clarify how much can be spent on advertising, personal selling, and other promotional efforts. 4. Develop a unifying message. The goal of an integrated promotional program is to have one clear message communicated by advertising, public relations, sales, and every other promotional effort. 5. Implement the plan. Advertisements, blogs, and other promotional efforts must be scheduled to complement efforts being made by public relations and sales promotion. Salespeople should have access to all materials to optimize the total effort. 6. Evaluate effectiveness. Evaluate effectiveness. Measuring results depends greatly on clear objectives. Each element of the promotion mix should be evaluated separately, and an overall measure should be taken as well. It is important to learn what is working and what is not. McGraw-Hill Connect. I see it. Need help understanding integrated marketing communication? Click on the video for a brief animated explanation. Advertising, informing, persuading, and reminding. LO 16-2 contrasts the advantages and disadvantages of various advertising media, including the internet and social media. Advertising is paid, non-personal communication through various media by organizations and individuals who are in some way identified in the message. Identification of the sender separates advertising from propaganda, which is non-personal communication that does not have an identified sponsor. Figure 16.3 lists various categories of advertising. Take a minute to look it over. You'll see there's a lot more to advertising than just print ads and television commercials. Figure 16.3, major categories of advertising. Different kinds of advertising are used by various organizations to reach different target markets. Online advertising, advertising messages that appear online as people visit different websites. Mobile advertising, advertising that reaches people on their smartphones. Interactive advertising, customer-oriented communication that enables customers to choose the information they receive, such as interactive video catalogs that let customers select which items to view. Retail advertising, advertising to consumers by various retail stores such as grocery department. Retail advertising, advertising to consumers by various retail stores such as grocery department and shoe stores. Trade advertising, advertising to wholesalers and retailers by manufacturers to encourage them to carry their products. Business-to-business advertising, advertising from manufacturers to other manufacturers. A firm selling motors to automotive companies would use business-to-business advertising. Institutional advertising, advertising designed to create an attractive image for an organization rather than for a product. Dollar Shave Clubs, Shave Time, Shave Money, and Allstate's You're in Good Hands are notable examples. Virginia is for Lovers and I Love New York were two institutional campaigns by government agencies. Product advertising, advertising for a good or service to create interest among consumers, commercial and industrial buyers. Advocacy advertising, advertising that supports a particular view of an issue, like for example an ad against nuclear power plants. Such advertising is also known as cause advertising. Comparison advertising, advertising that compares competitive products, for example an ad that compares two different cold care products. Speed and benefits is a comparative ad. It's also easy to appreciate the impact of advertising spending on the world economy. See Figure 16.4. Total ad volume was estimated to be nearly $509 billion for 2023. Note that digital media is now the number one medium with expenditures of over $307 billion. Television reigned as number one until 2018. Now over 60% of advertising spending goes to digital ads. Page 421. Figure 16.4. Estimated percentage of worldwide advertising spending in 2023 in billions of dollars. Source Sarah Karlovich. Ad spending forecast to grow 6% in 2023 as digital priorities shift. Marketing Dive, marketingdive.com, January 23rd, 2023. Analog $202 billion, digital $307 billion. Digital, connected television, social media, search engine, digital, out of home, other digital ads, analog, traditional media, linear television, newspapers, magazines, radio, out-of-home ads, direct mail. How do we as consumers benefit from these advertising expenditures? First, ads are informative. Digital ads and direct mail can be full of information about products, prices, features, store prices, and more. Newspaper advertising is also very informative, but has experienced a downturn as fewer people buy newspapers. Instead, they are choosing to get their news online or through their mobile devices. Mobile and digital advertising media are growing rapidly. Second, not only does advertising inform us, but the money advertisers spend for commercial time helps offset our costs as consumers. Ad costs. Ad costs can help pay some of the production costs of programming like television, radio, and online shows. Advertising also helps cover some of the costs of producing newspapers and magazines. Subscriptions and newsstand revenues may cover only mailing and promotional costs. Figure 16.5 compares the advantages and disadvantages for marketers of various advertising media. Note that newspapers, radio, and directories have been attractive to local advertisers historically. As with national advertising, the trend toward digital media continues to grow for local advertisements as well. Page 422. Figure 16.5 Advantages and disadvantages of various advertising media. The most effective media are often very expensive. The inexpensive media may not reach your market. The goal is to use the medium that can reach your desired market most effectively and efficiently. Medium, advantages and disadvantages. Medium. Internet. Advantages of the internet are inexpensive global coverage available at any time, and they're interactive. Disadvantages of the internet: customers may leave the site before buying. Social media. Advantages of social media: wonderful communication tools. Disadvantages of social media: time drain. Mobile advertising. Advantages of mobile advertising: great reach among younger shoppers. Disadvantages of mobile advertising: easy to ignore, avoid. Newspapers. Advantages of newspapers: good coverage of local markets. Ads can be placed quickly. High consumer acceptance. Ads can be clipped and saved. Disadvantages of newspapers: ads compete with other features in paper. Poor color. Ads get thrown away with paper. Short lifespan. Television. Advantages of television: uses sight, sound, and motion. Reaches all audiences. High attention with no competition from other material. Disadvantages of television: high cost, short exposure time, takes time to produce. Digital video recorders skip over ads, increasing numbers of users switching to streaming platforms. Radio. Advantages of radio: low cost, can target specific audiences, very flexible, good for local marketing. Disadvantages of radio: people may not listen to ads, depends on one's sense, hearing, short exposure time, audience can't keep ads. Magazines. Advantages of magazines: can target specific audiences, good use of color, long life of ads, ads can be clipped and saved. Disadvantages of magazines: inflexible, ads often must be placed weeks before publication, cost is relatively high. Digital out-of-home advertising and billboards. Advantages of digital out-of-home advertising and billboards are high visibility and repeat exposures, low cost, local market focus. Disadvantages of digital out-of-home advertising billboards are limited message, low selectivity of audience. Advantages of direct mail: best for targeting specific markets, very flexible, ads can be saved. Disadvantages of direct mail: high cost, consumers may reject ads as junk mail, must conform to post office regulations. Advantages of directories, yellow pages, type, print, and online advertising are great coverage of local markets widely used by consumers. Disadvantages of directories, yellow pages, type, print, and online advertising are competition with other ads. Cost may be too high for very small businesses. Popova, Valeria, and Shutterstock. Advertising seems to be everywhere as we go about our daily lives. How many advertisements can you spot in this photo? Can the noise created by so many ads interfere with the messages the advertisers are trying to communicate? Marketers must choose which media will best reach the audience they desire. Radio advertising, for example, is less expensive than television advertising and often reaches people when they have few other distractions, such as while they're driving. Research has revealed the effectiveness of radio as a traditional medium. Radio is especially effective at selling services people don't usually read about in print media: banking, mortgages, continuing education, and brokerage services, to name a few. On the other hand, radio has become so commercial ridden that many people pay to switch to commercial free premium services like Spotify or satellite radio. Marketers also search for other places to put advertising, such as on video screens mounted on gas pumps. Mobile marketing started out primarily as text messages. However, as companies started rolling out their own mobile apps, the approach became more refined. Do you have the Starbucks app on your phone? It's convenient for us as consumers to use functions like mobile ordering, pay in-store, and collect reward stars. But for Starbucks, the app allows the company to get to know you, send messages to your lock screen as you approach the store, and advertise special promotions like how to collect bonus stars. More often than not, the promotion for bonus stars involves either a new to you or low selling product the company wants to advertise. Grocery chains have released apps to help customers create their meal plans and prepare their shopping lists, many giving aisle by aisle assistance. Most often, retailers use advertisements to build brand awareness and drive people to their stores or websites. Social media sites in general are growing so fast that some marketers can hardly keep up. In the next sections, we'll look in more depth at the various advertising media. Page 423, online advertising. When marketers advertise on a search engine such as Google or Bing, they can reach the people they most want to reach. Consumers actively looking for information about specific products. A major goal of online advertising is to push potential customers to a website where they can learn more about the company and its products, and the company can learn more about them. If users click an ad to get to the website, the company has an opportunity to gather their names, addresses, opinions, and preferences. Online advertising thus brings customers and companies together. Another advantage is that it enables advertisers to see just how many people have clicked on an ad and how much of it each potential customer has read or watched. Email marketing is a big component of online advertising when executed correctly. Promotional emails should be personalized and tailored to the user. Customers want to see what is relevant to themselves, so segment your email list and sending Customers want to see what is relevant to themselves, so segmenting your email list and sending appropriate advertising is key. No one wants to get an email trying to sell them something they don't care about. However, advertisers have to be careful not to overuse it because most customers don't like to see too much promotional email in their inboxes. If a consumer is sent emails too often, this regularly leads to unsubscribing or blocking emails from that company, automatically deleting emails without opening, or the worst case scenario, turning against the company and no longer buying from it. Thus, some companies use email sporadically and as an alert to send users to social media such as X or Instagram. Interactive promotion allows marketers to go beyond a monologue in which sellers try to persuade buyers to buy things to a dialogue in which buyers and sellers work together to create mutually beneficial exchange relationships. Technology has greatly improved customer communications and has fundamentally changed the way marketers work with customers. Notice we said working with rather than promoting to. Marketers now want to build relationships with customers over time. That means carefully listening to what customers want, tracking their purchases, providing them with excellent service, and giving them access to a full range of information. Did you know Taco Bell carefully times when its messages will be posted to social media users to sway people to choose Taco Bell for breakfast? The marketing team will post a photo of breakfast items late at night. Then when people check their phones in the morning, they see Taco Bell's message. Social media advertising. Oreo has tens of millions of followers across all social media channels. The company can then track and test users who follow Milk's favorite cookie. The company can measure how many times a post is viewed, how many times it is shared, and what the user response is. Social media make it possible for organizations to test ads and other promotions before bringing them to social media make it possible for organizations to test ads and other promotions before bringing them to traditional media like television and to learn why people like and dislike messages. Additionally, social media can link companies with user content creators to make new promotional posts and videos that look less like traditional advertisements. It is best if a company wants to establish a base with customers to include top managers in the dialogue. For example, Lo Bosworth, founder and CEO of Love Wellness, spends hours each day contributing to company social media. She shares photos of Instagram and videos on TikTok, promoting the company and interacting with followers under both her personal and company accounts. Such involvement with customers has become a major part of many companies' listening strategies. It may take time, but there is not a better way to learn about what customers are thinking and saying about your firm. McDonald's, for example, is mentioned every 1 to 2 seconds on social media. It has a global communications team on 3 continents constantly listening and interacting with potential customers. We'll discuss more on social media and promotion later in the chapter. Page 424, digital out-of-home advertising. Digital out-of-home advertising is everywhere. There are screens in malls, gas stations, taxis, public transit, and airports, and billboards on buildings or along highways. How are these ads different from the billboards that have been around for decades? Using intelligent targeting and programmatic technology, marketers can get their message on the right screen or billboard at the right time to reach their audience where they are. Television advertising. Traditional television, linear television, offers many advantages to national advertisers, but it's expensive. 30 seconds of advertising during the Super Bowl can cost more than $7 million. That's not including the production costs of the ads, only airtime. How many bottles of beer or cars must a company sell to pay for these commercials? A whole lot, but few media besides television allow advertisers to reach that many millions of people with such impact, although not all ads are equally effective. Of course, advertisers can book cheaper airtime by choosing regular season NFL Sunday games for around $828,000, or choosing other television shows, for example, 30 Seconds on the CW's Riverdale costs about $33,000, or on ABC's The Bachelor just over $153,000. Though digital advertising has taken over the top spot in terms of advertising dollars, traditional television advertising is still a dominant medium. Of course, television is helped by the fact that many people post about what they have recently watched, making social media force multipliers for television. DVRs on demand and streaming services enable consumers to skip the ads during broadcasts. However, this may make traditional television less attractive to advertisers. Unless commercials get to the point that people want to watch them, marketers are demanding better and more accurate measurements of the effectiveness of traditional television advertising, and many are switching to social media as a result. After all, 72% of U.S. consumers are active on social media. Check out the Adapting to Change box to see how advertisements on streaming services connected television have changed what we expect from all television advertisements. Page 425, Adapting to Change, Advancing Ads to Connect Television. Advancing ads to connected television. For decades, television was the king for advertisers, and many thought that reign would never end. Television was used as a means to build awareness and air expensive advertisements. However, as more and more viewers shift toward other services beyond traditional linear television, advertisers have been rethinking their strategies. They now opt for advertising space on streaming services like Roku, Hulu, and Sling. Streaming services are sometimes referred to as connected television or advanced television. What makes it so much more advanced than traditional television advertising? What makes it so much more advanced than television advertising? It's the way marketers can tailor the advertising experience to each user. In linear television advertising, marketers purchase an ad slot based on the typical demographics of a show. In linear television advertising, marketers purchase an ad slot based on the typical demographics of a show's audience and geographic locations. But with connected television, advertisers have access to more information like browsing and purchase histories, income levels, and additional viewer data. Viewers watching the same show in the same neighborhood at the same time will each have different advertisements during the program. One may get a car commercial, while the other may be learning about the newest luxury watches. Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Prime Video, GK Images, and Alamy Stock Photo. As consumers become more accustomed to targeting advertising, they get increasingly annoyed when a Target ad gets it wrong. Their reactions can range from reporting the ad as irrelevant to unsubscribing from or even blocking that brand's content. Marketers are not just risking wasting money on the wrong customers, but are also risking alienating customers who may then never buy from them. That leads to potential revenue losses that can directly affect the company's bottom line. Therefore, it's essential to the success of the ad campaign to utilize all data, possibly to ensure they're hitting the right customers with the right products at the right time. Sources: 15 tips for branding considering Sources: 15 tips for brands considering running connected TV ads. Forbes.com, March 7th, 2023. Study: TV ads twice as memorable as mobile ads. Advanced Television, advancedtelevision.com, October 13th, 2022. Will Offerman, The Power of Advanced TV Advertising, Addressability or Reach Extension. TV Technology, tvtechnology.com, February 28th, 2023. Product placement. Television advertising isn't limited to traditional commercials. Sometimes the products appear in the programs themselves. With product placement, advertisers pay to put their products into shows and movies where the audience will see them. One classic example of product placement is the trail of Reese's Pieces in the movie E.T. In Marvel's Avengers franchise. The superheroes drive lots of different cars. Doctor Strange drives a Lamborghini Hurricane. Doctor Strange drives a Lamborghini Hurricane. Black Widow tools around in a Chevrolet Corvette. Iron Man is seen in an Audi R8, while Ant-Man opts for a more family-friendly Volkswagen ID 4 SUV. Photo 12 and 7E Art and Columbia Pictures and Alamy Stock Photo. While product placement can often be subtle, that's certainly not the case with this scene from Ghostbusters. Afterlife. Obvious or not, the purpose of product placement is to show consumers an item on screen and influence them to try it out themselves. What product placements have you noticed in your favorite TV shows and movies? In addition to television and movies, product placement is also used in video games. If you're a gamer, you've seen in-game ads like ads around the court in basketball games. Technology allows vending machines in racing games to be branded and rebranded over time, depending on whether Coke, Pepsi, Exxon, or Shell has purchased ad time. Do you think people are influenced by such exposure? Infomercials. An infomercial is a full-length program devoted exclusively to promoting a particular good or service. Infomercials have been successful because they show the product and how it works in great detail. They are the equivalent of sending your very best salesperson to a person's home and having them use all of their techniques to make the sale. Drama, demonstration, testimonials, graphics, and more. Page 426. Products that have earned hundreds of millions in sales through infomercials include Proactive P90X, the Snuggie, the George Foreman Grill, and the Showtime Rotisserie. Some products, such as personal development seminars, real estate programs, and workout systems or products, are hard to sell without showing people a sample of their contents and using testimonials. Betty Johnson and Alamy Stock Photo. While KFC ads in the United States often focus on the iconic image of Colonel Sanders, this one from China also includes illustrations inspired by Chinese culture to make a connection with regional consumers. Why do some companies develop unique promotional strategies for different countries rather than depend on one unified brand that's the same all over the world? Global advertising. Global advertising requires the marketer to develop a single product and promotional strategy it can implement worldwide. Certainly, global advertising that's the same everywhere can save companies money in research and design. In some cases, however, promotions tailored to specific countries or regions may be more successful since each country or region has its own culture, language, and buying habits. Some problems do arise when marketers use one campaign in all countries. When a Japanese company tried to use English words to name a popular drink, it came up with Pocari Sweat. Not a good image for most English-speaking people. In England, the Ford Probe didn't go over too well because the word probe made people think of doctors' waiting rooms and medical examinations. People in the United States may have difficulty with crap toilet paper from Sweden, but perhaps worse was the translation of Core's slogan, "Turn it loose," which became "suffer from diarrhea." Clairol introduced its curling iron, the mist stick, to the German market, not realizing mist in German can mean manure. As you can see, getting the words right in international advertising is tricky and critical. So is understanding the culture, which calls for researching each country, designing appropriate ads, and testing them. The Reaching Beyond Our Borders box discusses how a well-known company promotes products in foreign markets. Page 427. Reaching Beyond Our Borders, the world's favorite cookie, Oreo.com. No matter our ages, we all know and grew up with Oreos. The double layers of crunchy cookie sandwiching a creamy vanilla center are classic. For many years, Nabisco, the maker of Oreos, followed the old adage, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." Today, however, if you visit the cookie aisle in your local supermarket, you find tons of variations of Oreos, such as most Oreo with Oreo cookies and cream filling, Oreo and Ritz, and even Swedish fish and glitter cream. If that isn't enough, you can also buy them chocolate dipped, double stuffed, super thin, or even as a candy bar. Still not satisfied? Check out Oreo's website and design your own with Oreo ID. Nabisco knew that to keep the brand vibrant and to reach different segments of the market, expanding its offerings was a good option. It also knew it was a good decision to expand Oreos into global markets. Today, you can find Oreos in more than 100 countries around the world. However, Nabisco understood that globally consumer tastes vary just like in the United States. What some people consider mouth-watering in one country will be frowned upon somewhere else. So with Oreos spanning the globe, additional variations on the original cookie and cream formula became even more extreme. China, for instance, has a mix of fruity and savory Oreos. Are you interested in trying the popular wasabi or hot wing options? In Dubai, consumers are leaning toward tang-flavored Oreos. Argentines like their Oreos stuffed with bananas and dulce de leche, a type of candied milk. What works overseas can make its way back here to the United States. The popular Oreo thins were first introduced in China. Black Pink Oreo, Risky Rahmat, Hidayat, and Shuttershock. Sources: the most Oreo and other unusual Oreo cookie flavors from around the world. Love Food, lovefood.com. January 25th, 2023. Teresa Rivas. Why Mondelez thinks Oreos can be the Coca-Cola of cookiedom. Barons.com. February 24th, 2023. Oreo.com. Accessed March 2023. Many marketers today are moving from globalism, one ad for everyone in the world, to regionalism, specific ads for each country or for specific groups within a country. In the future, marketers will prepare more custom designed promotions to reach even smaller audiences as small as one person. Personal selling, providing personal attention. LO 16-3 illustrate the steps of the B2B and B2C selling processes. Personal selling is the face-to-face presentation and promotion of goods and services, including the salesperson's search for new prospects and follow-up service after the sale. Effective selling isn't simply a matter of persuading others to buy. In fact, it's more accurately described today as helping others satisfy their wants and needs, again, helping the buyer buy. Given that perspective, you can see why salespeople use mobile devices, tablets, and other technology to help customers search for information, design custom-made products, look over prices, and generally do everything it takes to complete the order. The benefit of personal selling is having a person help you complete a transaction. The salesperson should listen to your needs, help you reach a solution, and do everything possible to make accomplishing it smoother and easier. Mascot and Getty Images. You're already familiar with all kinds of situations in which people do personal selling. They work in local department stores and sell all kinds of goods and services like automobiles, insurance, and real estate. What could they do to be more helpful to you, the customer? It's costly for firms to provide customers with personal attention, so those companies that retain salespeople must train them to be especially effective, efficient, and helpful. To attract new salespeople, companies are paying them quite well and providing necessary training. Steps in the selling process. The best way to understand personal selling is to go through the selling process. Let's imagine you are a software salesperson whose job is to show business users the advantages of various products your firm markets. One product critically important to establishing long-term relationships with customers is customer relationship management, CRM software, particularly social CRM that integrates social media to create a community-based relationship with customers. Let's go through the 7 steps of the selling process to see what you can do to sell social media. Let's go through the 7 steps of the selling process to see what you can do to sell social CRM software. Page 428. Although this is a business-to-business B2B example, the process in consumer selling is similar but less complex. In both cases, the salesperson must have deep product knowledge. They must know the product and competitors' products thoroughly. 1. Prospect and qualify. The first step in the selling process is prospecting, researching potential buyers, and choosing those most likely to buy. The selection process is called qualifying. To qualify people means to make sure they have a need for the product, the authority to buy, and the willingness to listen to a sales message. Some people call prospecting and qualifying the process of lead generation. A person who meets the qualifying criteria is called a prospect. Salespeople often meet prospects at trade shows where they come to both. Salespeople often meet prospects at trade shows where they come to booths sponsored by manufacturers and ask questions. Others may visit the website looking for information, but often the best prospects are people recommended to you by others who use or know about your product. Salespeople often email prospects with proposals to see whether there is any interest before making it. Salespeople often email prospects with proposals to see whether there is any interest before making a formal visit. 2. Pre-approach. The selling process may take a long time, and gathering information before you approach the customer is crucial. Before making a sales call, you must do some further research. In the pre-approach phase, you learn as much as possible about customers and their wants and needs. Before you try to sell the social CRM software, you'll want to know which people in the company are most likely to buy or use it. What kind of customers do they deal with? What kind of relationship strategies are they using now? How is their setup? How is their system set up? And what kind of improvements are they looking for? All that information should be in a database so that if one representative leaves the firm, the company can provide important information about customers to the new salesperson. 3. Approach. You don't have a second chance to make a good first impression. That's why the approach is so important. When you call on a customer for the first time, you want to give an impression of friendly professionalism. Create rapport, build credibility, and start a business relationship. Often a company's decision to use a new software package is based on the buyer's perception of reliable service from the salesperson. In selling social CRM products, you can make it known from the start that you'll be available to help your customer train its employees, and upgrade package. In selling social CRM products, you can make it known from the start that you'll be available to help your customer train its employees and upgrade the package when necessary. 4. Make a presentation. In your actual presentation of the software, you'll match the benefits of your value package to the client's needs. Since you've done your homework and know the prospect's wants and needs, you can tailor your sales presentation accordingly. The presentation is a great time to use testimonials showing potential buyers that they're joining leaders and other firms who are using the product. 5. Answer objections. Salespeople should anticipate any objections the prospect may raise and determine the proper responses. They should think of questions as opportunities for creating better relationships, not as challenges to what they're saying. Customers may have legitimate doubts, and salespeople are there to resolve them. Successfully and honestly working with others helps build relationships based on trust. Often salespeople can introduce the customer to others in the firm who can answer their questions and provide them with anything they need. Using a tablet or mobile device, salespeople may set up a virtual meeting in which the customer can chat with company colleagues and begin building a relationship. Kingfisher Productions and Digital Vision and Getty Images. Making the sale isn't the end of the salesperson's relationship with the customer. The salesperson should follow up on the sale to make sure the customer is happy and perhaps suggest something to complement what the customer purchased. Have salespeople been able to sell you more because they have effective follow-up procedures? How did they do it? 6. Close the sale. After salespeople have answered questions and objections, they may present a trial close, a question or statement that moves the selling process toward the actual purchase. A salesperson might ask, when would be the best time to train your staff to use the new software? The final step is to ask for the order and show the client where to sign. Once a relationship is established, the goal of the sales call may be to get a testimonial from the customer. Page 429. 7. Follow-up. The selling process isn't over until the order is approved and the customer is happy. Salespeople need to be providers of solutions for their customers and to think about what happens after the sale. The follow-up step includes handling customer complaints, making sure the customer's questions are answered, and quickly supplying what the customer wants. Often customer service is as important to the sale as the product itself. That's why most manufacturers have websites where customers can find information and get questions answered quickly and accurately. You can see why we describe selling as a process of establishing relationships, not just exchanging goods or services. The sales relationship may continue for years as the salesperson responds to new requests for information and provides new services. The selling process varies somewhat among different goods and services, but the general idea stays the same. The goals of a salesperson are to help the buyer buy and make sure the buyer is satisfied after the sale. The business to consumer sales process. Most in-person sales to consumers take place in retail stores, where the role of the salesperson differs somewhat from that in B2B selling. In both cases, knowing the product comes first. However, in business to consumer B2C sales, the salesperson does not have to do much prospecting or qualifying. The seller assumes most people who come to the store are qualified to buy the merchandise, except in sales of expensive products, such as automobiles and furniture, during which salespeople may have to ask a few questions to qualify prospective customers before spending too much time with them. Similarly, retail salespeople don't usually have to go through a pre-approach step, although they should understand as much as possible about the type of people who shop at their store. About 95% of the people who come to a store have already done some research online. They know exactly what they want and how much they should expect to pay for it. Therefore, the salesperson needs to focus fully on the customer's wants and needs to possibly steer them toward another product. This means they need to refrain from talking to fellow salespeople or worse, focusing on their phones. Additionally, the salesperson has to compete with the customer's own phone, as 63% of people are likely to look up reviews in store before choosing a different product. The first formal step in the B2C sales process is the approach. Too many salespeople begin with a line like, "May I help you?" But the answer too often is no. A better approach is, "How can I help you?" or simply, "Welcome to our store." The idea is to show the customer you are there to help when they are ready and are friendly and knowledgeable. Discover what the customer wants first and then make a presentation. Salespeople should show customers how the company's products meet their needs and answer questions that help customers choose the right products for them. As in B2B selling, it is important to make a trial close, like, "Would you like me to put that on hold?" or "Will you be paying for that with your store credit card?" Selling is an art, and a salesperson must learn how to walk the fine line between being helpful and being pushy. Often individual buyers need some time alone to think about the purchase. The salesperson must respect that need but still be clearly available when needed. After sale follow-up is an important but often neglected step in B2C sales. If the product is to be delivered, the salesperson should follow up to be sure it is delivered on time. The same is true if the product has to be installed. There is often a chance to sell more merchandise when a salesperson follows up on a sale. Figure 16.6 shows the whole B2C selling process compared to the 7-step process we outlined earlier for B2B selling. Figure 16.6 steps in the business to consumer B2C selling process. Follow up, close sale, make presentation, ask questions. Start. Approach, ask questions, make presentation, close sale, follow up. Page 430. Test prep. What are the 4 traditional elements of the promotion mix? What are the 3 most important advertising media in order of dollars spent? What are the 7 steps in the B2B selling process? How does it differ from the B2C selling process? Public relations, building relationships. LO 16-4 describe the role of the public relations department and show how publicity fits in that role. Public relations, PR, is the function that evaluates public attitudes, changes policies and procedures in response to the public's requests, and executes a program of action and information to earn public understanding and acceptance. In other words, a good public relations program has 3 steps. 1. Listen to the public. Public relations starts with good marketing research to evaluate public attitudes. The best way to learn what the public wants is to listen to people, often in different forums, especially on social media. For example, White Castle learned that consumers were searching for more variety in fast food options. As most White Castle locations operate 24 hours, stores would often experience a lull after the late night hours passed. To bring in customers during that slow time, the company developed its breakfast menu. In addition to the breakfast menu, when customers showed interest in more plant-based options, White Castle then started offering its Impossible sliders. 2. Change policies and procedures. Businesses earn understanding not by bombarding the public with propaganda, but by creating programs and practices in the public interest. For example, Panera created a no list of ingredients and additives it would no longer use and reformulated over 100 ingredients to meet its needs when the company decided to go clean. 3. Inform people you're responsive to their needs. It's not enough to simply have programs in the public interest. You have to tell the public about those programs. Public relations has more power to influence consumers than other corporate communications because the message comes via the media, a source usually perceived as trustworthy. The PR department maintains close ties with company stakeholders, customers, media, community leaders, government officials, and other corporate stakeholders. Marketers are looking for alternatives to advertising. Public relations is a good alternative as newspapers cut back on their reporting staff. People are looking for other sources of news, information, including press releases. Linking up with content creators has become an important way to keep company names in the newspaper. Linking up with content creators has become an important way to keep company names in the news. Public relations is so important to some firms that everyone in other departments beyond the PR department is participating as well. Publicity, the taking arm of PR. Publicity, the talking arm of PR. Publicity is the talking arm of public relations and one of the major functions of almost all organizations. Here's how it works. Suppose you want to introduce your restaurant, Harvest Gold, to consumers, but you have little money to promote it. You need to get some initial sales to generate funds. One effective way to reach the public is through publicity. Page 431. Publicity is any information about an individual, product, or organization that distributed. Publicity is any information about an individual, product, or organization that's distributed to the public through the media and is not paid for or controlled by the seller. It takes skill to write interesting or compelling news releases that the media will want to publish. You may need to write different stories for different media. One story may introduce the new owners. Another may describe some unusual meal offerings. If these stories are published, news about your restaurant will reach many potential consumers and investors and dealers, and you may be on your way to becoming a successful marketer. John D. Rockefeller, wealthy industrialist and philanthropist, once remarked, "Next to doing the right thing, the most important thing is to let people know that you are doing the right thing." What might Harvest Gold do to help the community? What might Harvest Gold do to the community and thus create more publicity? Besides being free, publicity has several further advantages over other promotional tools like advertising. It may reach people who wouldn't look at a traditional ad. It may appear on the front page of a newspaper or in some other prominent position, or be given airtime on a television news show. Perhaps the greatest advantage of publicity is its believability. When a newspaper or magazine publishes a story as news, the reader treats that story as news, and news is more believable than advertising. Red Bull and Getty Images. Some companies will jump to extreme lengths to generate publicity. The daredevil Felix Baumgartner attracted the attention of the world when he skydived through the stratosphere, all while prominently wearing the Red Bull logo on his uniform and gear. Which do you think attracts more attention for a firm? A viral stunt or a paid ad? Publicity has several disadvantages as well. For example, Marketers have no control over whether or how the media will use their story. For example, marketers have no control over whether or how the media will use the story. The media aren't obligated to use a news release, most of which are thrown away. Furthermore, the media may alter the story so that it's not positive. There's good publicity, customers camp out all night to buy their There's good publicity, customers camp out all night to buy your products. And bad publicity, defective products are recalled. Also, once a story has run, it's not likely to be repeated. Advertising, in contrast, can be repeated as often as needed and paid for. One way to see that the media handle your publicity well is to establish a friendly relationship with media representatives and be open with them. Sales promotion, giving buyers incentives. LO 16-5. Assess the effectiveness of various forms of sales promotion, including sampling. Sales promotion is the promotional tool that stimulates consumer purchasing and dealer interest by means of short-term activities. These activities include such things as displays, trade shows and exhibitions, event sponsorships and contests. Figure 16.7 lists some B2B sales promotion techniques. Figure 16.7 sales promotion techniques. B2B, trade shows, portfolios for salespeople, deals, price reductions, catalogs, conventions. B2C, coupons, cents off promotions, sampling, premiums, sweepstakes, contests, bonuses, buy one get one free, catalogs, demonstrations, special events, lotteries, in-store displays. Page 432. For consumer sales promotion activities, think of those free samples you get in the mail, cents off coupons you virtually clip, in apps, contests that various retail stores sponsor, and prizes in cereal boxes. See figure 16.7. Some experts, however, caution not to give away too much during such promotions. For example, you can stimulate sales at Harvest Gold by putting half off coupons in the school paper and dorm mailers. Do you see any problems that might emerge by using coupons or an outside source like Groupon to bring in customers? Sales promotion programs designed to supplement personal selling, advertising, public relations, and other promotional efforts by creating enthusiasm for the overall promotional program. Sales promotion can take place both inside and outside the company. The most important internal sales promotion efforts are directed at salespeople and other customer contact people, such as customer service representatives. Internal sales promotion efforts include 1. Sales training. 2. The development of sales aids such as audio-visual presentations and videos. And 3. Participation in trade shows where salespeople can get leads. Other employees who deal with the public may also receive special training to improve their awareness of the company's offerings and make them an integral part of the total promotional effort. Steve Vidler and Mauritius Images, GmbH, and Alamy Stock Photo. Everyone likes a free sample. Sampling is a promotional strategy that lets people try a new product, often in a situation where they can buy it right now if they like it. What are some advantages of sampling food products that advertising can't duplicate? After generating enthusiasm internally, marketers want to make distributors and dealers eager to help promote the product. Trade shows allow marketing intermediaries to see products from many different sellers and make comparisons among them. Today, virtual trade shows online, often called webinars, enable buyers to see many products without leaving the office. Such promotions are usually interactive, so buyers can ask questions and the information is available 24/7. After the company's employees and intermediaries have been motivated by sales promotion efforts, the next step is to promote to final consumers using samples, coupons, cents off deals, displays, store demonstrations, contests, rebates, and so on. Sales promotion is an ongoing effort to maintain enthusiasm, so sellers use different strategies over time to keep the ideas fresh. You could put food displays in your Harvest Gold restaurant to show customers how attractive the products look. You could also sponsor in-store cooking demonstrations to attract new customers. One popular sales promotional tool is sampling, letting customers have a small sample of the product for no charge, because many customers won't buy a new product unless they have had a chance to see it or try it. Grocery stores often have people standing in the aisles handling Because many consumers won't buy a new product unless they have had a chance to see it or try it, grocery stores often have people standing in the aisles handing out small portions of food and beverage products. Sampling is a quick, effective way of demonstrating a product's superiority when consumers are making a purchase decision. Standing outside Harvest Gold and giving out samples would surely attract attention. Event marketing involves sponsoring events such as concerts or being at various events to promote products. When Pepsi introduced its SoBe product line, American teas, fruit juice blends, and enhanced water beverages, it used a combination of sampling, event marketing, and a new website. Pepsi first sent samples to beach towns during spring break where students got to sample the drinks. Sampling and event marketing can be effective promotional tools used to introduce new products. Test prep. What are the three test what are the three steps in setting up a public relations program? What are 5 sales promotion techniques used to reach consumers? What sales promotion techniques are used to reach businesses? Page 433, word of mouth and other promotional tools. LO 16-6. Show how word of mouth promotion, viral marketing, social networking, blogging, podcasting, email marketing, and mobile marketing work. Word of mouth and other promotional tools. LO 16-6. Show how word of mouth promotion, viral marketing, social networking, blogging, podcasting, email marketing, and mobile marketing work. Although word of mouth was not traditionally listed as one of the major promotional efforts, it was considered to be manageable. It is now one of the most effective, especially online. In word of mouth promotion, people tell other people about products they've purchased or services they've used. We've already discussed the role of social media in spreading word of mouth. Beyond word of mouth is customer participation. That is, getting customers to provide constructive suggestions and share Beyond word of mouth is consumer participation. That is, getting customers to provide constructive suggestions and share their ideas on how to shape product and service offerings. Anything that encourages people to talk favorably about an organization can be effective word of mouth. Notice, for example, how stores Notice, for example, how stores use entertainers, banners, and other attention-getting devices to create word of mouth. Clever content like commercials can also generate word of mouth. The more people talk about your products and your brand name, the more easily customers remember them when they shop. One especially effective strategy for spreading positive word of mouth is to ask for testimonials from current customers. Those testimonials can then be used to attract new customers and to confirm customers' belief that they chose the right company. Therefore, some companies make it a habit to ask customers to send or post referrals. Word of mouth promotion is so powerful that negative word of mouth can also hurt a firm badly. Criticism of a product or company can spread like wildfire through social and other online media. That means marketers need to ensure that they are addressing consumer complaints quickly and effectively. Doing so is one of the best ways to possibly reduce the effects of negative word of mouth. You may enjoy brainstorming strategies for creating word of mouth about Harvest Gold. If your efforts are successful, your message could go viral and be seen by millions of customers. If your efforts are successful, your message could go viral and be seen by millions of consumers quickly. Viral marketing includes any strategy that encourages people to pass on a marketing message to others, creating exponential. Viral marketing includes any strategy that encourages people to pass on a marketing message to others, creating exponential growth in the message's influence as the message reaches thousands or even millions. Many viral marketing programs give away free products or services, often in exchange for valuable social media profiles and email addresses. Free attracts attention. Once you have consumers' attention, they can see other products or services you offer and buy those. Social media. We briefly touched on the importance of social media and advertising earlier in the chapter. However, social media have a much greater role in promotion than just advertising. The majority of Americans are active on at least one social media platform, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or any of the many. The majority of Americans are active on at least one social media platform, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or any of the many sites adding users daily. Marketers have quickly noticed how social media are changing the business environment. Companies utilize these tools to increase exposure for products or services, create loyalty among customers, drive traffic to the company website, and even to come up with new ideas. One of the greatest advantages of social media platforms is that they offer easier two-way communication between businesses and customers. When people participate in these social media activities, they frequently continue interacting with the company and, more importantly, are likely to share branded content. Check out the Connecting Through Social Media box to learn about how word-of-mouth promotion on TikTok led to products going viral. Page 434, Connecting Through Social Media, TikTok made me buy it. With close to 1 billion users worldwide, TikTok is the largest social media outlet and has become a commercial powerhouse as companies fight for the attention of this enormous user base. Content creators are often profiling their hauls from various stores and showing insights into their daily lives. Frequent questions within day in the life videos will be about the product they see the creator using or something they catch in the background. Those questions will lead to additional videos being made about those products, often driving demand way up. Products that go viral are almost guaranteed to see sales skyrocket, leading some stores to create as seen on TikTok sections and media outlets to put together lists of their favorite TikTok finds. Even things that you'd never expect can go viral and lead to sellouts. Did you ever think there'd be a shortage on tinned fish, sardines, anchovies, tuna, and mackerel? In early 2023, store shelves were running bare in the canned fish aisle, all thanks to chefs and content creators showing their love for the products. Large manufacturers like Bumblebee, began introducing higher-end products in an effort to go beyond just canned tuna and water. Funstock and Shutterstock. But while seemingly any product can become TikTok famous, it's exceedingly difficult to determine why a specific item starts trending at any given time. Companies are often taken by surprise if a product starts getting buzz on the platform. Skincare, makeup, gadgets, and yes, even tinned fish are constantly being shared on the platform. The unpredictability of when the product will become TikTok famous can lead to supply chain issues and unsatisfied customers. Potential customers want to buy the product as soon as they see the video, and if they're met with sellouts and wait lists, they may not ever become a customer. Marketers need to remain vigilant in monitoring social media buzz and ensure when they partner with big name content creators, they have enough product to sell. Sources: Maria Espada, tinned fish could be the next grocery item to run out. Blame TikTok. Time.com, January 26th, 2023. Is your supply chain resilient enough to go viral on TikTok? Forbes.com, August 23rd, 2022. Ellen Glover, TikTok made me buy it. Is only the beginning. Built-in.com, December 13th, 2022. TikTok users worldwide, 2020 to 2025. Insider Intelligence, insiderintelligence.com, January 19th, 2023. Though all the likes, shares, and duets may seem as if they come easy for marketers, they don't just happen. While something may go surprisingly viral, more often this word-of-mouth promotion is the result of a detailed social media plan. These steps frequently used to launch a successful social media promotional campaign include 1. Get to know your customer base. 2. Create images your customers will want to see and post something new every day. 3. Develop fun yet suitable hashtags so your content is discovered by new users, but don't use too many. 4. Set up a publishing calendar to ensure consistency in posting. 5. Engage with your customers. Offer contests and entertainment. 6. Follow back and reply to your commenters. 7. Familiarize yourself with new features the site may offer. 8. Measure the effectiveness of what you post and use what you learn for the future. Blogging. There are hundreds of millions of blogs online. How do blogs affect marketing? Running a blog is great way to interact with customers. Businesses can attract new customers when they coordinate their social media profiles with their blogs. As people scroll through a company's social media feeds, they may opt to visit the company website for information not found on its socials. These clicks can help improve the company's website ranking and search engine positioning. In order for a business's blog to succeed, the marketing team must take time to post sought-after content as well as interact with customers who leave comments. These comments can even be useful in creating new posts. A business's blog must be kept up to date consistently in order to be recognized by the search engines, found easily, and to keep customers coming back for new information. If it isn't kept updated, the blog will lose traffic and therefore its power as a promotional tool. Page 435. Podcasting. Podcasting is a means of distributing multimedia digital files online for downloading or streaming. Podcasts are important because they are a great way to capture your existing and prospective customers' attention for an extended period of time by giving them something of value that is easy for them to understand. Of course, many companies have also found success in creating videos for YouTube and TikTok by creating short clips of podcast highlights on these social media platforms. They can increase the fan base as people start to enjoy and eventually look out for these clips. They will likely graduate to subscribing to the full podcast. Email promotions. Uber has an email marketing program designed to increase brand awareness and update subscribers on various deals or promotions. The emails are brightly colored yet simple and to the point. A person can easily skim the email and get most of the information they need. If more information is needed than what appears in the main message, the subscriber can get expanded. Illustrated instructions with an easy click at the bottom. Uber's main competitor, Lyft, also uses its email subscribers list to frequently get the word out regarding special promotions. For example, Lyft aims to help get people home safely on big celebration days like New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day by offering a limited number of free rides. Mobile marketing. Most marketers make sure their media are viewable on mobile devices like tablets and smartphones. Lacking an app or a functional mobile version of your website is a fast way to lose potential customers. Just as marketers need to tailor their messages to customers, they must also tailor the website look and readability to customers' devices. One key to success, therefore, is to keep the message brief because mobile users don't want to read through much text. With mobile media, marketers can use text messaging to promote sweepstakes, send customers news, or spark. With mobile media, marketers can use text messaging to promote sweepstakes, send customers news or sports alerts, and give them company information. Companies can use location services to determine where you are and send you messages about restaurants and other services in your vicinity. Miniseries and E+ and Getty Images. Mobile media allow marketers to reach customers through text messaging and even push notifications. Have you received promotional messages? For which products are they most effective? Managing the promotion mix, putting it all together. Each target group calls for a separate promotion mix. Advertising is most efficient for reaching large groups of consumers whose members share similar traits. Personal selling is best for selling to large organizations to motivate people to buy now rather than later. Marketers use sales promotions like sampling, coupons, discounts, special displays, and premiums. Publicity supports other efforts and can create a good impression among all consumers. Word of mouth is often the most powerful promotional tool, generated by listening, being responsive, and creating an impression worth passing on to others that you spread through social media, blogs, and podcasts. Page 436, Pequena Perro Matona. While most bus shelter ads aren't too interesting, this one gives people a place to sit and potentially consider taking a trip to a theme park. Do you think providing subtle experiences like this is an effective way to inform consumers about a product or service? Promotional strategies. How do producers move products to consumers? In a push strategy, the producer uses advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and all other promotional tools to convince wholesalers and retailers to stock and sell merchandise, pushing it through the distribution system to the stores. If the push strategy works, consumers will walk into a store, see the product, and buy it. Pull strategy directs heavy advertising and sales promotion efforts toward consumers. If the pull strategy works, customers will go to the store and ask for the products. The store owner will order them from the wholesaler, who in turn will order them from the producer. Products are thus pulled through the distribution system. It has been important to make promotion part of a total systems approach to marketing. That is, promotion was part of supply chain management. In such cases, retailers would work with producers and distributors to make the supply chain as efficient as possible. Then a promotional plan would be developed for the whole system. The idea would be to develop a total product offer that would appeal to everyone: manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and consumers. Test prep. What is viral marketing? What are blogging and podcasting? Describe a push strategy and a pull strategy. Page 437, Summary, LO16-1. Identify the new and traditional tools that make up the promotion mix. What is promotion? Promotion is an effort by marketers to inform and remind people in the market. Promotion is an effort by marketers to inform and remind people in the target market about products and to persuade them to participate in an exchange. What are the 4 traditional promotional tools that make up the promotion mix? The 4 traditional promotional tools are advertising, personal selling, public relations, and sales promotion. The product itself can also be a promotional tool. That's why it is shown in the middle of figure 16.1. LO16-2. Contrast the advantages and disadvantages of various advertising media, including the internet and social media. What is advertising? Advertising is limited to paid, non-personal, not face-to-face communication through various media by organizing and individuals who are in some way identified in the advertising message. What are the advantages of using the various media? Review the advantages and disadvantages of the various advertising media in figure 16.5. Why is the use of infomercials, online advertising, and social media advertising growing? Infomercials are growing in importance because they show products in use and present testimonials to help sell goods and services. Online advertising pushes customers to a website where they can learn more about a company and its products. With social media advertising, companies can test ads and other promotions before bringing them to traditional media like TV. LO16-3. Illustrate the steps of the B2B and B2C selling processes. What is personal selling? Personal selling is the face-to-face presentation and promotion of products and services. It includes the search for new prospects and follow-up service after the sale. What are the 7 steps of the B2B selling process? The steps of the selling process are 1. Prospect and qualify. 2. Pre-approach. 3. Approach. 4. Make a presentation. 5. Answer objections. 6. Close the sale. And 7. Follow-up. What are the steps in the B2C selling process? The steps are the approach, which includes asking questions, the presentation, which includes answering questions, the close, and the follow-up. Page 438, LO16-4. Describe the role of the public relations department and show how publicity fits in that role. What is public relations? Public relations PR is the function that evaluates public attitudes, changes policies and procedures in response to the public's requests, and executes a program of action and information to earn public understanding and acceptance. What are the 3 major steps in a good public relations program? 1. Listen to the public. 2. Develop policies and procedures in the public interest. And 3. Tell people you're being responsive to their needs. What is publicity? Publicity is the talking arm of public relations. It is information distributed. What is publicity? Publicity is the talking arm of public relations. It is information distributed by the media that's not paid for or controlled by the seller. Publicity's greatest advantage is its believability. LO16-5. Assess the effectiveness of various forms of sales promotion, including sampling. Here are sales promotion activities used both within and outside the organization. Internal sales promotion efforts are directed at salespeople and other customer contact people to keep them enthusiastic about the company. Internal sales promotion activities include sales training, sales aids such as audio-visual displays and trade shows. External sales promotions to consumers rely on samples, coupons, cents off deals, displays, store demonstrators, premiums, and other incentives. LO16-6. Show how word-of-mouth promotion, viral marketing, social networking, blogging, podcasting, email marketing, and mobile marketing work. Is word of mouth a major promotional tool? Word of mouth was not one of the traditional forms of promotion because it was not considered to be manageable, but it has always been an effective way of promoting goods and services. How is word of mouth used in promotion today? The goal of word of mouth is to get the company's message to as many people as possible. Viral marketing includes any strategy that encourages people to pass on a marketing message to others, creating exponential growth in the message's influence as the message reaches thousands to millions. Many viral marketing programs give away free products or services, often in exchange for valuable email addresses. What other promotional tools can marketers use to promote products? Other promotional tools include social networking, blogging, podcasting, email promotions, and mobile marketing. What are the major promotional strategies? In a push strategy, the producer uses advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and all other promotional tools to convince wholesalers and retailers to stock and sell merchandise. In a pull strategy, heavy advertising and sales promotion efforts are directed toward consumers, so they'll request the products from retailers. Key terms: advertising, infomercial, integrated marketing communication, IMC, interactive promotion, personal selling, podcasting, product placement, promotion mix, prospecting, publicity, public relations, PR, pull strategy, push strategy, qualifying, sales promotion, sampling, trial close, viral marketing, word of mouth promotion. Page 439, critical thinking. What kinds of problems can emerge if a firm doesn't communicate with environmentalists, the news media, and the local community? Do you know of any firms that aren't responsive to your community? What are the consequences? 2. How often do you buy online? If you don't actually buy, do you use the internet to compare goods and prices? Do you or your friends take advantage of low prices on used goods on eBay or other online sites like Craigslist? Do you look at ads on the internet? Do they seem to be effective? 3. As interactive communications between companies and customers grow, do you think traditional advertising will grow or decline? What will be the effect of growth or decline on the price we pay for TV programs, newspapers, and magazines? 4. How have blogging, podcasting, and social media affected other media you use, like newspapers or television? Do you read print newspapers now, or do you get your news some other way? Do you watch programs on TV or on other devices? How has the move away from print and network television affected advertising? Putting principles to work. Purpose: to learn how to use social media advertising to achieve business results. Exercise: go to Hootsuite at hootsuite.com and search for the post Social Media Advertising 101, how to get the most out of your ad budget. 1. Imagine that you are tasked with promoting awareness of Harvest Gold, the healthy, fresh, fast food restaurant introduced in Chapter 13. You've identified your target market as students, faculty, staff, and residents in and around your campus. Using the summary of the PEW Research Center's most recent social media fact sheet, on which social network would you place your first ad to reach your demographic? 2. The article lists the various styles of ads available on each social network. Which style would you choose for your ad? Why? Describe what the ad would look and or sound like. 3. Social media advertising can cost anywhere from $5 to $50,000. According to the article, what is the most important thing you can do to control ad costs? Developing career skills. Key: team analytic communication technology. 1. Using at least 2 different media: a newspaper, magazine, television, radio, online. Choose 2 ads you consider effective and 2 you find ineffective. Be prepared to explain your choices based on what you have learned in this chapter. 2. Scan your local newspaper or search online for examples of publicity, stories about new products and sales promotion, coupons, contests, sweepstakes. Share your examples and discuss the effectiveness. Share your examples and discuss the effectiveness of such promotional efforts with the class. Many students shy away from careers in selling, often because they think they are not outgoing enough or that salespeople are dishonest or pushy. Prepare a one-page document about your experience with salespeople and describe how they used one or more of the selling strategies covered in this chapter. 4. In small groups, discuss whether you are purchasing more goods using brick and mortar stores or online and why. If you shop at brick and mortar stores, do you look up information online before buying goods and services? How helpful are such searches? Present your findings to the class. 5. In small groups, list 6 goods and services most students own or use and discuss promotional techniques that prompt you to buy them. Social media advertising, personal selling, publicity, sales promotion, or word of mouth. Which seems most effective for your group? Why? Page 440, Career Exploration. If you are interested in working in promotion, here are a few careers to consider. Find out about the tasks performed, skills needed, pay, and opportunity outlook in these fields in the Occupational Outlook Handbook, OOH, at bls.gov. Advertising sales agent, advertising sales agent, sells advertising space to businesses and individuals, contacts potential clients, makes advertising sales agent, sells advertising space to businesses and individuals, contacts potential clients, makes sales presentations, and maintains client accounts. Public relations specialist, create and maintain a favorable public image for the organization they represent, designs media releases to shape public perception of the organization and to increase awareness of its work and goals. Fundraising manager, designs and coordinates campaigns that attract donations for the organizations. Web developer, designs and creates websites. Video case, using integrated marketing communication at Chipotle, McGraw-Hill Connect. Integrated marketing is a key component to any organization's success. That's why Chipotle considers integrated marketing communication in everything it does. For example, it ensures that messages are thoroughly communicated throughout the entire organization so that everyone in the organization is on the same page. The emphasis on keeping the message consistent but executing it in different ways is central to Chipotle's marketing strategy. Chipotle was started in 1993 by a chef named Steve Ells. He believed he could develop a different kind of restaurant. Ells established a supply chain that was distinct to the industry with the goal to use only the best ingredients from the best farmers, ranchers, and producers. High quality food, however, was not the only objective that Ells set for Chipotle. He also wanted customers to know how its food production process impacted the environment. The unique Chipotle business model promises food with integrity by using unprocessed, responsibly raised, real ingredients in all its food. Chipotle made a major change in its food production process by setting up an open air kitchen concept where customers could catch. Chipotle made a major change in its food production process by setting up an open air kitchen concept where customers could watch their food being prepared. The company was responsible for creating the fast casual restaurant category. Today, Chipotle has over 2,800 restaurants and employs 100,000 people. Chipotle understood that carefully considered distribution in the right market locations and exact consumer demographics was integral to its integrated marketing strategy. That's why precise integrated marketing communication throughout the organization is vital to keep all the restaurants abreast of continuing market changes the company needs to understand and address. That's why precise integrated marketing communication throughout the organizations is vital to keep all the restaurants abreast of continuing market changes the company needs to understand and address. The company launched Chipotle Rewards through an innovative link with Venmo when it discovered that Chipotle was one of the top 5 mentioned brands on Venmo's platform. The company wanted to establish a program that attracted not only superfans of Chipotle but low and medium frequency patrons as well. The marketing strategy involved building the program consistent with the company's overall mission of cultivating a better. The marketing strategy involved building the program consistent with the company's overall mission of cultivating a better world. Consumers could earn and accumulate Chipotle points and then make donations to several charitable groups. The classic Chipotle commercial of a young boy talking to his sister about a burrito saving the world strongly reinforced the company's primary marketing message of caring about where food comes from and how it impacts the environment. From an integrated marketing perspective, Chipotle's promotions reinforce the company theme of being committed to the future of farming and thinking about where your food comes from. Looking ahead, Chipotle's goal is to become the clear market leader in real food. Its integrated marketing application is the key path to getting there. Page 441, thinking it over. 1. What does Chipotle mean by its claim of food with integrity? 2. Why does integrated marketing have to be consistent throughout the entire Chipotle organization? 3. Do you think the Chipotle system can actually cultivate a better world? Page 442, notes. Page 443, Part 6, Managing Financial Resources, Chapter 17, Understanding Accounting and Financial Information.